I know we look at the aces as new beginnings, but I kind of feel like this is building on a foundation that you already have. You already have something. This is not brand new, whatever's coming in. Now, that doesn't mean that, it can't be a new person or a new job or a new situation. I don't mean that. I mean, it's something that you've already put some substantial work into, or you've been building something in yourself. Like you've been preparing yourself for a relationship. You've been preparing yourself for that job. And indeed, the Four of Wands can be a house move or a job move. It's changing the energy around us. The thing is, though, here when it comes up, Four of Wands and the Hierophant, both of these cards are cards of commitment to me. Where are we taking this? What's the next step? Where are we going with this? That's what's coming in. And that's how I feel this new beginning's coming in. When we say new beginnings, it can be a new cycle that begins. And maybe to progress this, whatever it is that's coming in, the Ace of Cups is a solution to that. But I'm going to get to that in just a moment. With the Four of Wands here, it says, great job. You've got a great foundation. Take a moment. Celebrate what you've done so far. Celebrate the success that you've had so far. Now, whenever there are fours, and it's interesting because you have Four of Wands, Four of Coins, Four of Pentacles, 2 fours at the top, and beneath those 2 fours are pages. So that communication, that's coming in for you guys, that's how this has progressed. If you look at it just from that viewpoint, fours, nothing moves. It's that pause after the initial foundation's been laid. We pause for a moment to say, okay, good job. How far have we come on this? How do we push it forward, though? How do we go into the future with it? Is communication. Pages are offers. And both of these are kind of, that's the truth that's coming out there. And so, you're ready to go forward. You are ready to move forward. At first, you weren't moving at all. We have the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to come to that in a moment. We have the Four of Pentacles coming up as a past or foundation energy for you. This is the Miser card. Comfort zone. And it might be that you just didn't have the money. Maybe you didn't have the money to go forward. You didn't have the savings. You weren't trusting. Sometimes this can be that, I don't want to progress this relationship. I'm happy where I am. Comfort zone. That's what this is. But it very clearly says, this card, that, unless you risk what you have, risk your vulnerability, risk your security, your stability, whatever it is. And I don't mean, mortgage the house or anything. Those 4 pentacles that you have, they mean something different to each of us. Our heart, our pride, our hope, whatever. Because this is that we're holding on to something that we feel is valuable to us. We're holding on to it. So there was no movement here in the past. Now you're ready to go. Now you're ready to go bigger. And that's what the Four of Wands is about. How can I build on this? If we've just been dating, do we, go steady? I don't even know if people still use that phrase. I'm so old. Or, move in together or get engaged or something. It's going bigger. If it's a job, I've always done this. I don't want to be that small fish in big fish in the small pond. Let's go bigger. Let me go and apply for a bigger company or a bigger salary or have more responsibility. It's about progressing this. But how do you do that? Because I feel like this is not just comfort zone. It's also about maybe you didn't know. You were clinging to what you knew, right? What was familiar to you. Something else is coming in. We have the Ace of Cups. And whenever the Ace of Cups shows up, I always say with all of the aces, that is your cup. That is your wand. That is your sword. That is your pentacle. It's yours. We're beginning with you. What's in your cup? What do you want? How do you feel about this? Now, it's important to look at that with the fours coming up on either side. Because if you're looking to go forward, what a lot of people do, and I'd say 98% of people do this, is they look out to see what is available. Who will take me for that job? What will the other person do? How are they feeling about this? They focus on the external. What is the best that I can do out there? Ace of Cups says, nah, To begin a new cycle, to go forward, to progress on this, what do you want? What's your heart telling you? Because you've grown emotionally through whatever you've gone through, this initial stage that you went through, you've grown emotionally. You have different emotions about things now. And this is about your emotional fulfillment, not what you can get practically for your stability or security. Not even we have more wands coming in here, but it's purely about how you feel. And you're feeling in a different way. Don't forget that. It's a new cycle that begins. A new emotion comes in. So you feel differently about this. And that's where you're being asked to focus on, because that's at the heart of your reading. What do you do with that? Well, you have the Page of Wands. That's what I mean. The Page of Wands, to me, he's that little scallywag that's out off on his little adventure. You know, he's excited. He wants to go do this. He doesn't want a boring life. So we have little dragons here, and he's off. I'll go do it. It's that energy. That's the Page of Wands. But that's what it is. I feel like you're taking it in a new direction because of this, because of how you feel. If you want something more, if you want to build on this, which I think you do, whatever it is, if you want more from that relationship, you want more from that job, you want the bigger house, you want whatever it is that you're going for, this is how to do it. Take it in a different direction. The Page of Wands can be messages too. It can be anything from like flirty text messages to an offer that we received that we're very excited about. Very excited about. But it's about creativity, passion, excitement, enthusiasm. I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it, you know, go in a different direction. It's the exploration of something new. That's where you're at right now. And, you know, look at this combination. So we have the Four of Wands celebrating. There could be a literal celebration, you know, a birthday, reunion, whatever, wedding or something going on. We have 2 wedding cards, actually. Both of these are weddings. And this could be the engagement, and that could be the actual wedding. And that's why you're kind of planning this new life from the Ace of Cups. That's just an example of the energy. It's not specific to that, because the energies play out however they play out in our lives. But I feel with the Page of Wands, you're excited about this. Whatever it is, before you were unsure about it. This is how to know if this message resonates with you or not. If that doesn't resonate, then this probably isn't your message. You weren't unsure about it. You were unsure about, you just wanted to be safe. But now you're ready to go on an adventure. And what a difference. I don't know what happened. What must have happened to you to go from this place of, I'm going to hold on to what keeps me safe and secure, to, you know what, let's go. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And the kind of crazy thing is, and it's not crazy at all if you've been in the tarot and know people at all, but this is how it goes. When you raise your vibration, everything else raises. So you wanted security and stability, right? So you held on to everything with that Four of Pentacles. When you let loose, that's what the Page of Wands is saying. How do you feel? What's fun for you? Let's go, you know, let's go out on the town. Let's go talk about things. Let's, you know, have fun. Let's have a laugh. That's how we kind of let's celebrate what we've gotten so far. Let's be grateful for what we have so far. That stability, that security that you wanted, it comes in an even bigger way. We have the Hierophant coming up here as a future energy. And I always see the Hierophant as the kind of granddaddy of that, because this is faith. And what does faith do for us? It brings security to our life. It's the scaffolding. It's the supports of our life, right? Ideally, it should be. For a lot, I don't know what it is for some people, but that's faith at its core. When we have faith, we know that, you know, we have a set of rules that we follow. This is the prescribed path. This is the trust, tried and tested, but it's commitment. Now, it's card for Taurus. Some of you might be dealing with a Taurus. I don't usually see the pages as people, but, you know, some of you might be dealing as general. So younger fire sign energy. And they don't have to be younger than you in age. It can be in maturity levels. But this is a fun person, the Page of Wands, I always see them as. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And here we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Very young energy, very immature kind of energy. Not in a bad way, they just are that way, you know. I always think, why do we judge the pages so harshly, or the knights? They're not kings and queens. That's the whole point of them. They have their own role to play. And this person's like a muse. They might bring you creative ideas. You might have an idea to do something new because of this person. But it's light energy, and it's almost like once you tap into that lighter energy, you figure out how you feel. This is almost terrifying, like scary. Like, I want to hold on to this. I need it. Security blanket. I'm not going to look out from underneath this. But once you do, so much comes in. And that's in the past, thankfully. You know, last week, last month, last year, it doesn't matter. But it shows you. Now, the reason that that's coming up, let's look at it by comparison. If we're going from a place of comfort zone, not extending ourselves, we didn't have it to give, and we go to this adventure. For some people, this, to, you know, and I don't think of it as in you're going to go backpacking across the world. If you've not dated in 10 years, then just installing a dating app on your phone is going to be Page of Wands for you. And in this time you might have done the work on yourself to know that this is what I am, this is what I kind of like, I know who I am now, I know how I feel, I know what's in my cup to go and offer. And I've given a dating example. It doesn't have to be. It could be for work. For the money, you stayed in that crappy job, even though you had to do it. Now for you, a big change, a big adventure, something new might be something as little as looking through the classified, looking to see, calling up that recruitment consultant and saying, I'm thinking about changing jobs. That's a big step for someone who's not done anything for a while. So remember, I take a magnifying glass to it, but the energy plays out at varying levels for different people, right? A risk for one person might be nothing to someone else. That might represent 4 pentacles to them. So bear that in mind. But yeah, that's where it's headed. Something that you commit. This could be a new company. So, I mean, it's new, it's bigger. That's both ways this goes. Commitment, committing to that new organization, that new company, new belief. Believe it or not, this is very spiritual energy, a new spiritual belief that you have. You're ready to commit to it. You have faith in something new. It's restored your faith. But how do you get there? Because don't forget, it takes both of these, the advice and the present, to get you to this future energy of commitment, of solid structure, of your faith, of, belonging. I always see the Hierophant as belonging. Page of Swords. Facing the brutal truth. So the Page of Swords can be a brutal conversation that you have with yourself. Sometimes I see that. We have to call ourselves out on our bullshit. Sometimes we have to do that. But it doesn't even have to be that. The Page of Swords is the spy. Goes out there and gets more information. Now, for some of you, that's a big deal from this. To even explore something new is big. That's how it's coming across in this reading. For others of you, remember this. I said they were kind of like, they were younger energies, right? They have less experience than the knights, the queens, the kings. The Page of Swords, sometimes you can hear something. You can get some information, like somebody might have told you something. You might have heard about a job. He doesn't always understand what he hears. Like, there's more exploration needed. Think about it. A spy, I could send out a spy to go get me some information on, I don't know, tarot or astrology or something. Doesn't mean that spy is a tarot reader or an astrologer. So they get that information. They don't know what to make of it. So they'd have to ask questions, say, what does it mean? What is this going on here? That's the Page of Swords. So, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to get more information if you need it. You got a beautiful, all I can say for you, Cancer, is there is a beautiful foundation here. And that came through straight away. For some of you, it was involuntary because you had this kind of comfort zone thing. You were stuck here and, you had to do it for whatever reason. Whether you weren't earning enough, you didn't have the finances. That was all you could do at that time. The only job that was available. Or, you were single because you couldn't date. Whatever it is. But that time's done. It's time to build on that. Time to go from that. And I like the pages actually coming up from this. Like, usually I'd say, it's kind of... But it's baby steps, right? It's going forward. Going forward with passion in your heart, what you're trying to create. Going forward with your truth. Speaking your truth. Asking questions. Very simply, ask questions with the Page of Swords. Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Is that what this is about? I mean, I do see communication, like I said, with pages coming up. There's offers. You're looking to start something new. Have you met someone else? Or, to talk to, even if it's not romantic, it doesn't have to be romantic. Remember, this could be a job. Literally, it could be, there's 2 big things here. Either it's a relationship's going a step further or a job's going a step further. But that's why I love the Whispers of Love, because it's a love of all kinds. But it's almost like, it could be that whole kind of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. Or that's where you get the information from. You've been trying to figure everything out yourself. But now you come out there and you can ask questions, Oh, I'm excited about this. I'm interested in this. What's going to happen with this? Or where are we going? Where are we headed? This is how I feel. See a lot of communication this week. If you're open to it, it doesn't just happen. Nothing is higher than a 4. I mean, all right, the Hierophant that's major arcana. But even then, it's the only major arcana con. It's the future, is what you're headed towards. You want that stability. You want something that's, traditional. New traditions that you might be setting up. And don't forget, we pick that. We conform to this. I am going to say this to some of you as well. Whenever the Hierophant shows up and I get these kind of marriagey cards, or a marriage, whether it's two companies, romantic, whatever it is, right? Something that makes you very happy. There could be an age difference, especially with 2 pages coming up like that. But that's why it's okay to talk about it. As long as you talk about it. You might have not gotten involved with this person because they were so much older or so much younger than you.